400 CFM56 engine with an ovoid hamster pouch inlet with a flattened bottom. 737 to 800 CFM56 engine with a more rounded inlet versus the -400 due to a redesigned fan in the engine. 737 MAX 9 CFM LEAP 1B engine with 787 derived engine chevrons. Flight Systems, Edit. The 737 uses a hydromechanical flight control system, similar to the Boeing 707 and typical of the period in which the 737 was originally designed. Pilot commands are transmitted to hydraulic boosters attached to the control surfaces via steel cables that run through the fuselage and wings, rather than by the electrical fly-by-wire systems found in more recent designs like the Airbus A320 or Boeing 777. The primary flight controls have mechanical backups. In the event of total hydraulic system failure or double engine failure, they will automatically and seamlessly revert to control via servo tab. In this mode, termed manual reversion, the servo tabs aerodynamically control the elevators and ailerons. These servo tabs are in turn controlled by cables running to the control yoke. The pilot's muscle forces alone control the tabs. The 737 Next Generation series introduced a 6-screen LCD glass cockpit with modern avionics but designed to retain crew commonality with previous 737 generations. The 737 MAX introduced a 415.1-inch landscape LCD screen cockpit manufactured by Rockwell Collins derived from the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Except for the spoilers, which are fly-by-wire controlled, and all the analog instruments, which became digital, everything else is similar to the cockpits of the previous 737 generations to maintain commonality. Original 737-200 cockpit. Classic 737-300 cockpit. Next generation 737-800 cockpit. 737 MAX 8 cockpit. Aerodynamics, Edit. The original -100 and -200 series were built without wingtip devices, but these were later introduced to improve fuel efficiency. The 737 has evolved 4 winglet types: the 737-200 mini-winglet, 737 classic forward-slashing blended winglet, 737 split scimitar winglet, and 737 MAX Advanced Technology winglet. The 737-200 mini-winglets are part of the Quiet Wing Corp modification kit that received certification in 2005. Blended winglets were standard on the 737 since 2000 and are available for retrofit on 737 classic models. These winglets stand approximately 8 feet, 2.4 m, tall and are installed at the wing tips. They improve fuel efficiency by up to 5% through lift-induced drag reduction achieved by moderating wingtip vortices. Split scimitar winglets became available in 2014 for the 737-800, 737-900, BBJ2 and BBJ3, and in 2015 for the 737-700, 737-900 and BBJ1. Split scimitar winglets were developed by Aviation Partners, the same Seattle-based corporation that developed the blended winglets. The split scimitar winglets produce up to a 5.5% fuel savings per aircraft compared to 3.3% savings for the blended winglets. Southwest Airlines flew their first flight of a 737-800 with split scimitar winglets on the 14th of April, 2014. The next generation 737 MAX will feature an advanced technology at winglet that is produced by Boeing. The Boeing at winglet resembles a cross between the blended winglet and the split scimitar winglet. An optional enhanced short runway package was developed for use on short runways. Blended winglet, standard on wings, a retrofit option for classics. Split scimitar winglet standard on later wings. Advanced technology winglet standard on MAX. Interior, edit. The first generation original Series 737 cabin was replaced for the second generation Classic Series with a design based on the Boeing 757 cabin. The Classic cabin was then redesigned once more for the third, next generation, 737 with a design based on the Boeing 777 cabin. Boeing later offered the redesigned Sky interior on the wing. The principal features of the Sky interior include sculpted sidewalls, redesigned window housings, increased headroom and LED mood lighting, larger pivot bins based on the 777 and 787 designs and generally more luggage space, and claims to have improved cabin noise levels by 24 dB. The first 737 equipped Boeing Sky interior was delivered to Fleet Dubai in late 2010. Continental Airlines, Alaska Airlines, Malaysia Airlines, and TUI Fly have also received Sky interior equipped 737s. 737 Classic interior in 3-3 economy class layout. Boeing 737 standard interior with curved panels. Boeing 737 Sky interior with pivot bins and LED lighting. Other variants, edit. 737 AEW and C, edit. Main article, Boeing 737 AEW and C. The Boeing 737 AEW and C is a 737-700 IGW roughly similar to the 737-700A. This is an airborne early warning and control, AEW and C, version of the 737. Australia is the first customer, as Project Wedgetail, followed by Turkey and South Korea. T43/CT43, edit. Main article, Boeing T43. The T43 was a 737-200 modified for use by the United States Air Force for training navigators, now known as USAF Combat Systems Officers. Informally referred to as the Gator, an abbreviation of Navigator, and Flying Classroom. 19 of these aircraft were delivered to the Air Training Command at Mather AFB, California during 1973 and 1974. 2 additional aircraft were delivered to the Colorado Air National Guard at Buckley ANGB, later Buckley AFB, and Peterson AFB, Colorado, in direct support of cadet air navigation training at the nearby U.S. Air Force Academy. 2 T-43s were later converted to CT-43s, similar to the CT-40 a clipper below, in the early 1990s and transferred to Air Mobility Command and United States Air Forces in Europe, respectively, as executive transports. A third aircraft was also transferred to Air Force Materiel Command for use as a radar testbed aircraft and was redesignated as an NT-43A. The T-43 was retired by the Air Education and Training Command in 2010 after 37 years of service. C-40 Clipper, edit. Main article, Boeing C-40 Clipper. The Boeing C-40 Clipper is a military version of the 737-700 Seeing. It is used by both the United States Navy and the United States Air Force, and has been ordered by the United States Marine Corps. Technically, only the Navy C-40A variant is named Clipper, whereas the USAF C-40B/C variants are officially unnamed. P-8 Poseidon, edit. Main article, Boeing P-8 Poseidon. The P-8 Poseidon developed for the United States Navy by Boeing Defense, Space and Security, based on the next generation 737-800ERX. The P-8 can be operated in the anti-submarine warfare, ASW, anti-surface warfare, ASA, and shipping interdiction roles. It is armed with torpedoes, Harpoon anti-ship missiles and other weapons, and is able to drop and monitor sonobuoys, as well as operate in conjunction with other assets such as the Northrop Grumman MQ-4C Triton Maritime Surveillance Unmanned Aerial Vehicle, UAV. Boeing Business Jet, BBJ, edit. Main article, Boeing Business Jet. In the late 1980s, Boeing marketed the 77-33 jet, a business jet version of the 737-300. The name was short-lived. After the introduction of the next generation series, Boeing introduced the Boeing Business Jet, BBJ, series. The BBJ-1 was similar in dimensions to the 737-700 but had additional features, including stronger wings and landing gear from the 737-800, and had increased range over the other 737 models through the use of extra fuel tanks. The first BBJ rolled out on the 11th of August, 1998, and flew for the first time on September the 4th. On the 11th of October, 1999, Boeing launched the BBJ-2. Based on the 737-800, it is 19 feet 2 inches, 5.84 m, longer than the BBJ-1, with 25% more cabin space and twice the baggage space, but has slightly reduced range. It is also fitted with auxiliary belly fuel tanks and winglets. The first BBJ-2 was delivered on the 28th of February, 2001. Boeing's BBJ-3 is based on the 737-900. The BBJ-3 has 1,120 square feet, 104 m, of floor space, 35% more interior space, and 89% more luggage space than the BBJ-2. It has an auxiliary fuel system, giving it a range of up to 4,725 nautical miles, 8,751 kilometers, 5,437 mi, and a head-up display. Boeing completed the first example in August 2008. This aircraft's cabin is pressurized to a simulated 6,500 foot, 2,000 m, altitude. Boeing Converted Freighter Program, edit. The Boeing Converted Freighter Program, BCF, or the 737-800 BCF program, was launched by Boeing in 2016. It converts old 737-800 passenger jets to dedicated freighters. The first 737-800 BCF was delivered in 2018 to JCAS, which is leased to West Atlantic. Boeing has signed an agreement with Chinese YTO Cargo Airlines to provide the airline with 737-800 BCFs pending a planned program launch. Experimental, edit. Main article, Echo Demonstrator. 737 aircraft have been used in Boeing test programs. In 2012, a new 737-800 bound for American Airlines became the first Echo Demonstrator airframe in a program that continues annually into the 2020s. In conjunction with many industry partners, the program aims to reduce the environmental impact of aviation. In 2012 it tested the winglets which would eventually be used in the 737 MAX series. Testing also included a variable area exhaust nozzle, regenerative hydrogen fuel cells for electrical power, and sustainable aviation fuel, SAF. In 2018, one of the 737 MAX 7 prototypes participated in Boeing's Quiet Technology Demonstrator 3, QTD-3, program, in which a NASA engine inlet designed to reduce engine noise was tested over an acoustic array at Moses Lake, Washington. A 737 MAX 9 was used as the 2021 Echo demonstrator. A new airframe in a special Alaska Airlines livery flew an extensive test program, a major part of which was the use of SAF in blends of up to 50%, including a flight from Seattle to Glasgow, Scotland, to attend the United Nations COP26 Climate Change Conference. Other test areas included halogen-free fire extinguisher, ground testing only, a low-profile anti-collision light, and text-based air traffic control communications. At the end of the testing, the aircraft was returned to standard configuration, and was delivered to Alaska Airlines in 2022. During October 2023, a 737 MAX 10 destined for United Airlines flew a series of test flights to compare the emissions of SAF, including the contrails, with those of conventional fuel. The emissions were measured by NASA's Douglas DC-8 Airborne Science Lab, which flew close behind the 737, which wore a special livery as part of a series of special tests named Echo Demonstrator Explorer. Competition, edit. Main article, competition between Airbus A320 and Boeing 737. The Boeing 737 Classic, Next Generation and MAX series have faced significant competition from the Airbus A320 family, first introduced in 1988. The relatively recent Airbus A220 family now also competes against the smaller capacity end of the 737 variants. The A320 was developed to compete also with the McDonnell Douglas MD-80/90 and 95 series, the 95 later becoming the Boeing 717. Since July 2017, Airbus had a 59.4% market share of the re-engined single-aisle market, while Boeing had 40.6%. Boeing had doubts on over-ordered A320neos by new operators and expected to narrow the gap with replacements not already ordered. However, in July 2017, Airbus had still 1,350 more A320neo orders than Boeing had for the 737 MAX. Boeing delivered 8,918 of the 737 family between March 1988 and December 2018, while Airbus delivered 8,605 A320 family aircraft over a similar period since first delivery in early 1988. Graphs are unavailable due to technical issues. There is more info on Fabricator and on MediaWiki.org. 1. Airbus A320 family deliveries. 2. Boeing 737 series deliveries. Operators, edit. The 5 largest operators of the Boeing 737 were Southwest Airlines, 878 as of October 2023, Ryanair, 443, United Airlines, 383, American Airlines, 344, and Delta Airlines, 218, all as of August 2021. Civilian, edit. Main article, list of Boeing 737 operators. In 2006, over 4,500 Boeing 737s were operated by more than 500 airlines, flying to 1,200 destinations in 190 countries, and on average 1,250 aircraft were airborne, with 2 either departing or landing every 5 seconds. The 737 was the most commonly flown aircraft in 2008, 2009, and 2010. In 2013, over 5,580 Boeing 737s were operated by more than 342 airlines in 111 countries, which represented more than 25% of the worldwide fleet of large jet airliners. The 737 had carried over 16.8 billion passengers, twice of 7.1 billion world population in that time, over 119 billion miles, 192 billion kilometer, with more than 184 million flights or 264 million hours in the air. In 2016, there were 6,512 Boeing 737 airliners in service, 5,567 737ings plus 945 737-200s and 737 classics, more than the 6,510 Airbus A320 family. While in 2017, there were 6,858 737s in service, 5,968 737ings plus 897 737-200s and classics, fewer than the 6,965 A320 family. By 2018, over 7,500 Boeing 737s were in service, and on average 2,800 aircraft were airborne, with 2 either departing or landing every 3 seconds, carrying around 3 million passengers daily. At the time, the global 737 fleet had carried over 22 billion passengers since its introduction. As of June 2021, there were 9,315 Boeing 737s in service, slightly fewer than the 9,353 of the A320 family, as more 737s were already out of service. Military, edit. Many countries operate the 737 passenger, BBJ, and cargo variants in government or military applications. Users with 737s include 1 Argentina, 2 Australia, 3 Brazil, 4 Chile, 5 China, 6 Colombia, 7 Democratic Republic of the Congo, 8 India, 9 Indonesia, 10 Iran, 11 Kazakhstan, 12 Malaysia, 13 Mexico, 14 Mongolia, 15 Netherlands, 16 Nigeria, 17 Pakistan, 18 Peru, 19 Poland, 20 South Africa, 21 Saudi Arabia, 22 Republic of Korea, 23 Taiwan, 24 Thailand, 25 Turkey, 26 United Kingdom, 27 United States. Orders and deliveries, edit. The 737 had the highest cumulative orders for any airliner until surpassed by the A320 family in October 2019. In that year, 737 orders dropped by 90%, as 737 MAX orders dried up after the March grounding. The 737 MAX backlog fell by 182, mainly due to the Jet Airways bankruptcy. A drop in Boeing's airliner backlog was a first in at least the past 30 years. As of March 2024, 16,555 units of the Boeing 737 family had been ordered, with 4,828 orders were pending, or 4,357 when including additional criteria for recognizing contracted backlog with customers beyond the existence of a firm contract, ASC 606 adjustment. Boeing delivered the 5,000 to Southwest Airlines on the 13th of February, 2006, the 6,000 to Norwegian Air Shuttle in April, 2009, the 7,000 to Fleet Dubai on the 16th of December, 2011, the 8,000 to United Airlines on the 16th of April, 2014, and the 9,000 to China United Airlines in April, 2016. The 10,000 was ordered in July, 2012, rolled out on the 13th of March, 2018, and was to be delivered to Southwest Airlines. The backlog at the time stood at over 4,600 aircraft. As of March 2024, 11,727 units of the Boeing 737 family had been delivered, while 11,379 of the competing A320 family had been delivered. Therefore, the 737 is the most delivered jetliner. Deliveries by year for all 737 generations and model series. Year total 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016, 2015, 2014, 2013, 2012, 2011, 2010, 2009, 2008, 2007. Deliveries 11,727, 67, 396, 387, 263, 43, 127, 580, 529, 490, 495, 485, 440, 415, 372, 376, 372, 290, 330. 2006, 2005, 2004, 2003, 2002, 2001, 2019, 99, 1998, 1997, 1996, 1995, 1994, 1993, 1992, 1991, 1990, 1989, 1988, 1987. 302, 212, 202, 173, 223, 299, 282, 320, 282, 135, 76, 89, 121, 152, 218, 215, 174, 146, 165, 161. 1986, 1985, 1984, 1983, 1982, 1981, 1980, 1979, 1978, 1977, 1976, 1975, 1974, 1973, 1972, 1971, 1970, 1969, 1968, 1967. 141, 115, 67, 82, 95, 108, 92, 77, 40, 25, 41, 51, 55, 23, 22, 29, 37, 114, 105, 4. 1 carat. The 2020 deliveries consist of 16 ing-based variants and 27 737 Maxes. Model Summary, Edit. Orders and deliveries by Generation and Model Series. Generation Model Series ICAO Code Orders Deliveries Unfilled Orders First Flight 737 Original 737 to 100 B731 3030, the 9th of April, 1967. 737 to 200 B732 991 900